As you see, we got the new podcast set up. I spent a couple bands in this motherfucker. It's looking sexy. Got me a nice fake tree in the back. New Rode Mic Pro. 10 mics here. We're soon going to be doing the group podcast, so you guys be ready for that. We'll have 8 to 10 people at one time, getting controversial and getting sexy. So, but first things first, she's back from the Shy again with some new updates. Personally, how's work?
Work's good.
What do you do again?
Work for Toast.
That's new. That's why you went out there.
No.
You were working for NCR?
Yeah, but I chose to just move there.
Okay. So Toast is new. Since I last saw you?
No.
When were you going to tell me you work at Toast? What the fuck? I had no idea.
I'm pretty sure I told you.
Really?
Yeah.
Same role?
Yeah, account manager.
Okay. So just keep the clients happy.
Keep the clients happy.
Okay.
It's kind of the name of the game, right?
Damn. And now it's about keeping a man happy.
Getting there. One thing at a time, bro.
All right. Let me slow my roll.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Let's slow the roll.
And I'm on my phone because I'm looking up our topic.
We got a lot of technology in front of y'all today. So be grateful that we are shooting Friday at 2:19.
Yes.
Shout out to us wanting to do the pod. When do you leave?
Tomorrow morning.
Look at this, guys. Through rain,
In and out.
snow, whatever it is.
We pod.
You're going to have to make the pod go. Okay, so we had a couple topics off the mic today, guys, that were...
Oof, they were gonna ruffle some feathers.
Yeah, we got to stay away from them. We're not ready there. We don't have enough followers yet to lose our jobs and the people around us. Yeah. Once we get a little famous, we won't give a fuck. But one of the first topics we're going to go into and discuss, and the reason I choose Sue for this, guys, is because I feel that Sue has a great perspective. She stands on what she says, but delivers it in a way where you're very understanding to why she thinks it. You're cool with it. You're not trying to change how she thinks. I'm cool with it, you know? Sometimes I feel like when you get people into, I won't say back them in certain corners, but if you feel like, if y'all two aren't on the same page about how y'all feel about particular topics, then it just gets like man versus woman or black guy versus white guy. Yeah. So for me, I think because I've known her so long, I'm not going to like disrespect her, act rude, try to overbear her with my opinions. So it's like, if she's talking, I'm cool with it. And then it's always vice versa. So I think that's why the dynamic works. Unfortunately, her ass decides to move to Chicago. This shit would have been off the rocker by now.
We definitely would have lost friends by now.
But we have to make it work. So every time she comes in town, we always promise to throw something together and make it spicy. So she's going to lead with the first topic. What are we talking about?
So Tinks is a Instagram influencer basically, and she has this theory called the box theory.
Tinks, Tinks.
Tinx.
Okay, got it. If y'all know, shout out to her.
She's big time.
Okay.
But her theory is that a woman can really do nothing to dictate which box a man will put her in. So there's 3 boxes, right? Fuck, you're gonna have to edit this.
That's fine.
Now I lost where it is.
Yeah, you were saying something about whether or not, like which category they are in.
So basically, Tinks has this theory called the box theory, and a man will either see you as a potential partner, a potential hookup, or he's just not interested. Mm-hmm. So it has nothing to do with how. I'm gone.
Oh, there you go. All right.
You're good?
Yeah.
Should I start out that part over again?
You're fine. Yeah, you keep following.
Okay, so Tinks has this box theory in regards to heterosexual men and how they see women in 3 neat categories. Mm-hmm. They see you as a potential partner, a potential hookup, or they're just not interested. It has nothing to do with how you act or if and when you hook up. But you really have no control when that man makes the decision. Mm-hmm. So if he puts you in, like, I could see dating her, there's really nothing you could do wrong, right? Like, I can puke on the first date or have sex with you on the first date.
Yeah.
You'd still consider dating me. But if you put me in the hookup category, I could make you wait months before I have sex with you. I could, shower you with gifts, and you're still never going to see me as dating potential.
Yeah.
So, apparently it's a very controversial.
You're saying that that it can't be controlled by the woman?
Yeah, that really, like, when you first meet a woman, within almost like the first 15 minutes, you will put her in one of those 3 boxes.
Okay, gotcha.
Do you think that's accurate?
Well, I mean, she has to have some control because she's determining based on the work she's done before.
Right. So she's going to show up how she shows up.
Okay.
Though, right?
So it's important for people to work in privacy or whatever.
Correct.
So when they do get their opportunity on the runway,
how do you believe though that like you reflecting on your past, right, or just being a man, your friend?
Fuck.
When you meet a girl, do you think that that's accurate? That immediately or almost immediately, you know.
Yes, right,
Are we losing friends today?
Yeah, man. It is what it. Yeah. But this is good information for both parties to know and understand.
And I'm saying this not having thought of the theory myself. Like I just saw that and I was like,
oh, let's chop it up.
What she also says is that women do the reverse. That they say themselves, no, I would never date him. And now all of a sudden I'm catching feelings and, you know, it's 3 months in and I said I was just going to hook up with him and there's no potential beyond that.
Yeah.
And now I've changed my tune.
Oh, I see.
So women almost work in the reverse. Men make that decision very quickly up front. And usually there's no control that a woman has to move boxes once he's put her into one. Like and it doesn't have to be now, but historically, have you ever, like, could you look back and say, I knew she was in that box, or is somebody moved? Has somebody moved for you?
I have seen moving the box is possible as long as you don't make the box, as long as you don't check the boxes too early for the men. So yes, the men can make that initial decision, but don't express it. Don't let her know, because sometimes
obviously they're not letting us know.
Yes, they're not. Well, by their actions they are.
Well, and that's what she said. She said like the guy who puts you in the hookup box is going to be inconsistent. You're not going to hear from him all the time. You're not a priority, and you should know immediately that he will never see you. There's no changing it. So think people you've dated, if that's happened to you.
I think the issue with I think the tough position about going about it like that as the girl, which I should be speaking from the man perspective, but what I realize with girls is that sometimes they make that decision for us. And now they're assuming that they're assuming because I'm not texting back, or like you said, like I'm giving off like that, like the fuckboy shit thing, that I am a fuckboy. And you just never really know what dynamic that guy is in with other people, jobs, or whatever it may be. So he may be initially inconsistent, not following up, not responding as much because you're something new to his life that he has to find where you land.
Okay.
And so now
that's fair.
The girl will make the decision within the first 6 weeks, and it's like, damn, he might have had to clean out his roster. I might have 6 hoes on the list. I see you. I'm like, yo, she kind of fire. I want to pursue you, but at the same time, how do you cold turkey girls, all these girls that you're with? That's why it's good that the girl stays consistent and lasts over time. So then it's all about the value, because the girls that are just the sex category aren't bringing any more value than sex.
Okay, so let's say this though. So even if they linger or they continue to pursue you, even though you're not prioritizing them immediately, but you've put them in the box that they could be date potential. Yeah. I would say that when you do come to addressing it, there probably will not be that same inconsistency or question. Like right when you've cleared the roster and you say, this is what I'm going to do, then there's no question, right? Like your actions will make it very clear. Like, I'm not just trying to smash, I'm trying to date you. And how you appear to her and how you like show your intent will be very different for those two people.
Yeah. Fuck, I'm not good at this one. It's what scares me about it is that the guys don't want to date.
What do you mean?
Like, we don't want to date girls. We want to go out. We want to hang. We want to smash. We don't want to classify somebody as our girlfriend. We don't like that. Because
okay, let's just not say all men. Let's say a
no,
specific group.
I never said all, but I think a good chunk. If that was the case, then why the fuck do you know 5 people in a relationship and you know 100 people out of one? Like, somebody's not saying yes somewhere, and somebody's okay with the not saying yes somewhere too. So at the same point, it's a 50-50 situation. Girls aren't requiring it, and guys aren't really wanting to do it. So at the end of the day, you're gonna have to play by the guy's standards. Guys generally don't like that because I think guys are not accustomed to being in situations that don't work out. And when it doesn't, let's just say me and you dating, that shit don't work out, I'm gonna hold on to that probably longer, in my opinion, not hold it longer. I'm not going to be as good as working through that as you are. You got 6 girls around you going to support you. You got 4 girls going to take you out to dinner. You got your mom going to call you, tell you it's all good. You got your dad going to tell you, I sent you something. Your mom's going to send you flowers. Me, I'm here. I can't tell my boys I look like a bitch.
You could.
Okay, well, the boys are going to say I'm a bitch. So I can't tell my boys. It's not something I'm going to post on Instagram. I'm not going on Justin LeBoy and posting a bunch of quotes. Like, the guys just have to figure it out on their own.
Do you think that guys take a longer time? We're going to go all over the place today.
We're kind of laughing, but it's good. It's flowing.
Do you think that guys immediately process a breakup? Like, I think girls grieve immediately. I think guys fill a void immediately, right? Like, you go smash a bunch of girls, you just like try to distract yourself, immediately. And then all of a sudden it'll hit you.
If it's the right one. If it's the right one. If she was on some bullshit, then we gon' power through that. I'm gonna get a couple of my boys and we outside this weekend. Right. And we're gonna do that for like a month, 2 months. I'm gonna find something new. And then she'll hang out and she'll probably not ask to be my boyfriend immediately, and I can hang out for 2 months and get over you. But when it's really the one,
you're still
you gonna feel it. If she was quality, yes, that shit don't go nowhere.
But do you think, my question though is not, you don't feel that right away. I feel like
you feel it right away.
You do.
Yeah.
And do you think you work through that right away, or you go?
Yeah, that's what going out and getting the hose and going. That is going through. Yeah,
that's your process.
That's the process, because the guys aren't going to sit in the house and have a bowl of ice cream and think about their shit. Like we're just not going to go do that, because we understand that at the end of the day we have the fishing pole. And so when we go out, if we want to get better, then we just go fishing again. Girls don't have girls have a fishing pole too, but they don't like that. Y'all don't want to go fishing. Y'all want that shit to jump right into your boat.
Well, of course.
We like the fishing because we want the options. And so for a girl to go power through, she has to get damn near drunk to go move like a guy moves at night. Y'all go out, I stay away from her. She's not interested. I'm just getting over something. That's how a girl goes through that shit. She goes dance, get drunk, but look, guys are like 12 feet away from her. Dudes, they're like, where the bitches at? Bring them all in.
But I feel like you guys you're not actually processing anything.
But that's processing for us.
Well, to some degree, yeah.
You don't think, what's the difference between the way y'all process?
I think that like the filling the void of other people, of travel, all that shit. I mean, everybody does it. Like, everyone's going to have their outlet to distract. Mm-hmm. But I feel like women more so take some space before jumping into something, or like really entertaining somebody else, where guys do the reverse. Like my ex, we broke up immediately. He's like spending every waking moment with another person, right? And then processed months later and was really upset and sad, and then tried to return, right? When they're like, but immediately I feel like the gut reaction for the guy is to just like replace you, right? Like, or just like replace that feeling. They don't want to feel the pain. And then eventually, once that first like filling of the void, right, like the rebound is gone, they're like, oh shit, like I probably should have refocused and got myself better in a better spot and gone back and got that girl, because now I'm grieving. Yeah. Right? Whereas girls, I feel like, take time to be alone for the beginning. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, you break up and you do have your girls around you, but you're exactly what you said. You're telling guys to fuck off. You're telling guys stay away. Like, I want to like process this. Yeah. And then they move on. I think guys have Well, I mean, we don't get joy out of sitting in the house. Well, we don't either, but
y'all enjoy sitting in the house. As soon as y'all get in a relationship, y'all want to sit in the house. Oh, that's what's naturally what y'all want to do. Y'all want to drink, eat on Fridays. Y'all don't want to be in the club, turned out. Y'all don't be on that scene to begin with. So our natural habitat is out there. Your natural habitat is in here. So we want to be outside anyway, but as soon as you get a girlfriend, what do? You remove the guy from his environment. That's dating. That's why guys don't want to do that shit, because you have to go away from it. I'm a little different
because I don't like to be in the house that much.
I feel like,
or maybe that's why I'm single, because I don't like to be in the house that much.
Well, here's the thing though, when you don't be inside the house, then now your relationship got to be super secure. Yeah. Not every girl's trying to put, not every girl trying to put her dude in that environment, because.
Well, I'm not saying I want to be in the club with you, but like, to me, it's really important that we keep doing the things that we enjoy doing, but together, right? Like, I've been alone for 34 years.
But that's boring, because I don't want to go out. If I'm dating you, I don't want to go out with you. It's boring. It's not the same that I'm with my boys.
Well, I agree, but I wouldn't
We
say.
want-
I mean,
we want
how
bitches
okay,
around.
first of all, how often are you in the club with your boys right now at this phase of your life?
No, I'm not in club in general. Yeah.
So, right. So what do you find enjoyment in outside the house?
Well, I mean, but now I'm 35, so
Well, okay,
basically
well, I'm 30,
women
here
are
we
like
are.
35-year-old men at 21, and the guy,
Okay.
so the guys are outside at 20. Y'all are trying to date motherfuckers 28, 27. That's when y'all need to get serious with guys, and they're not there. Y'all can get the guys at 35, 40 because they done all that shit. Their environment isn't in the club. They want to travel. They want to do all that other shit, et cetera, et cetera. But for us, we're like, we're turned up. And then what happens is we go get successful.
Right.
We go get lit, bread's good, credit's nice, everybody fuck with us. Oh, we're definitely outside. So now when your guy goes outside, it's not like, can I buy you a drink and like some corny shit. It's like, hey, we got the section you sliding through, and 9 times out of 10 the girls are saying yes. So at the end of the day, guys just want options. Like they want options because they don't know who's the best option. Right. Girls don't want options. They want the best person immediately. And so that's why I think guys date smarter than girls. It's just girls announce it and they get upset and they voice it. And now it's like the norm to do it. But guys date way smarter than girls. We don't want to commit early. That's why we don't get hurt as much. Girls are ready to be in a relationship as soon as they meet a decent guy. And that's the issue because we date slow, y'all date fast. And so if you can get a relationship out of a guy, there was a lot that went into getting that. To get a relationship out of a girl requires nothing but a decent dinner, maybe 1 or 2 nights of good sex, and telling her you like her. She's ready. It's
Okay,
genuine.
depending on the girl, we'll say generalizations.
So
again.
what would we say would be different about a situation? You meet a guy tomorrow. He's a solid dude. Resume looks fire, attractive to him. He does all the right things for the first month and a half. You gonna tell me if he wants to be exclusive? You're not taking it seriously.
I think there's just a lot more. I'm 34 years old, so I can't speak for a 25-year-old. So yes,
But the
at
resume
a phase in my life, yes, there was a lot of things that if you hit certain things, like would I entertain a dating scenario, right? Like I don't date to just date now. Mm-hmm. I'd rather be alone. So if I'm dating you, it's going to take a little more time. Mm-hmm. And like showing things beyond, like fundamentally, yes, can we both pay our bills and like and be able to afford to go on trips? Sure. Do I think that I'm guaranteed to never have to work again? No. And I'm also, that's kind of like where you say like the things you look for change, right? Like I don't need somebody to do all that. Like it would be nice, sure. But they might not make $1 million, and I'm okay with that if they're a good person and I could see them being a good father to my children and they are a compassionate human being.
10 years ago, were you thinking like that?
I think I always, no, I wouldn't. I have never.
You never needed it.
I mean, my mom, that wasn't the dynamic in my house anyway. Okay. So I just don't think that's ever been like kind of who I am. Are there women out there like that?
But
yes.
what makes the dynamic? What makes girls in that dynamic then? Because most women aren't growing up with their dads being millionaires.
Why do they think that's okay?
Like why is their outcome, like why is their perspective on who they're looking for so different than yours? Like why are girls wanting these?
Because I think not every. I think they're priorities, right? So they don't want to work or they want all these extravagant things. That's just not who I like foundationally. Like I don't care about like designer purses or so like if you want that type of stuff, that requires a certain bank account. I'd rather travel. So if I could like have a private jet to go, then yeah, sign me up. But like, I just think it's who fundamentally you are and like what you value. And so it kind of like goes back to love languages, right? Like gifts is not my love language. I'd rather have your time. I'd rather have you, acts of service, right? Like things like that to me matter more. So I just think it's what you value. Mm-hmm. And so girls want a lot of money from a man if that's what they value. To me, like a good conversation and somebody who validates how I feel and who is kind to other human beings and myself and that challenges me to learn more about myself is way more important than somebody's bank account. Now, yes, is there a fundamental, like, I don't want to take care of anyone either. And the ambition piece is critical for my attraction. So you have to have a passion about something.
That brings up a good topic for me, though. Okay. Why do girls never want to take care of their guy?
It's not that I don't want to I've been in a relationship where I took care of a lot of it financially, emotionally, took care of a lot of it in general. I think that. But
that's the thing that we always hear. Like girls never want to be a guy that they take care of. But why is it okay for guys to have to be in a relationship? They got to take care of the girl.
Are you talking strictly financially?
Yeah.
Because I would say I would say
that's
like
a big
biologically, right? Like just men and women, right? Like men are designed to lead or whatever or be dominant, right? And so women are designed if you want to say, to be submissive biologically. I know, wow, weird. And I'm not saying that dynamic has to exist that way, but obviously things have evolved and changed. Our bodies have evolved over years, right? Like there's just things that have evolved. And so for me, I think that it's less about like me taking care of you or you taking care of me, but like, do you have the desire to want to take care of each other? I just don't want a man that wants to be taken care of and doesn't want to also take care of me. So it's not like, it's like expectation of like wearing the pants or anything like that, or like I make more or you make more. It's just, do we have a genuine interest in caring for one another emotionally, financially, all of those things? And I think for me, it's attractive, and I'll speak for myself, when a man wants to do that, right? Like I want to make a safe space for you. I want you to be able to feel comfortable. I want to have great sex, which requires creating safety, right? Like, and making you feel heard and all those things. So I think, to me, that's the attraction, right? Like it's less about your bank account, which is great, but like what emotional, physical, all of those safety elements can I thrive in and do that for you?
So you're going to tell me 34 years, that simple list you just shot at me, you ain't found that?
No.
So name the list again, things again.
I would say emotional, physical, and financial safety.
And let's just say ballpark, how many guys have you like 50 guys you've maybe gone through? Let's say if you just had to go through the Rolodex of guys you've attempted.
First of all, I don't get into relationships hardly ever.
Well, not even relationships. There's like early steps of just qualifying.
Yeah, I go on a lot of first dates.
And just one after the other, just shooting blanks.
Yeah. I mean, like, they're great first dates. And I don't think any one of them, I would say every guy I've been out with, gone out with, has always come back. But I think the depth that I know myself to is almost disconcerting to men. Do you think that you possibly need to put yourself in a guy's shoes to understand that maybe those guys aren't really trained to be in that type of depth to begin with? 100%. Because it's almost like you might be looking for you. I'm looking for somebody who can at least...
Because everything that you're saying that you're looking for in a guy, you probably...
But isn't that what they tell you to be successful? That you should show up in the version of someone that you would want to go after? Like, you need to be all the things. If you want somebody to come after you, or you want to find somebody that has those qualities, you have to be those qualities yourself. Okay. If I want somebody who can challenge me, like, I have to challenge myself and elevate myself, right? And it is a lot to ask. That's why I'm still single. Like, but it's also the rest of my life. And so I am at peace alone, right? Like, I've gotten to that place where I have that. And like, do I want somebody else to share it with? 100%. But like, there's a scary part that wants to control over my happiness. And like, I'm not just going to open myself up to get hurt.
So what, is it too hard to reprogram that?
It's not that it's too
like,
hard.
Where does
Why
the
do I
depth
want
come
to?
from?
Of me, like how I think?
Like where does and I feel like a lot of women where I've heard this, like what you're saying, I don't think is something that I have not heard. I feel like it's a very, the depthness, the calmness, emotional security, a safe space. These are things that qualities that I have heard women look in their partner. But I guess my thing is like, is as a whole, is that programming conducive to finding a person?
I think it makes it very hard, right? And I think that women go through it sooner. Like you said, you are out with your boys and you're partying, and then you make money, right? And then you like achieve these things. And then I think you got to get out of your system. Like, now I've achieved all these things that I wanted to have, and now I have them. And there's that phase. And like, then I think guys are like, okay, now I've done it all. And now I'm almost ready to have that like peacefulness and chillness. And like, I don't need all the options. I have somebody who's ride or die, day in, day out. Like the momentary thrill is not worth the long headache, right? Like I'd rather just somebody that I can go home to, that we enjoy each other's company and still challenges me, right? And it's just, that's not going to come easy. I don't expect it to. Like, I know it's a numbers game. I got to go on a million dates because I'm not going to find it easy.
Yeah.
But at this point, like, as disappointing as it is sometimes, like, I've never left a date feeling, and this is hard for a lot of girls, I feel like, to get to that place where you are looking for that and not get discouraged or down on yourself, like, or feel, I mean, like, I think I'm generally decent looking, right? Like I have confidence in myself, but that's not everybody. So it's a really hard dating game to be in if you don't have that level of confidence, or
Like
you're
if
gonna
you don't
get
even
beat
have
up.
that, yeah.
Right? If you get beat up every time you don't get a call on the second date, I'm at the point now. I'm like, my phone is so dry. I would say probably in the last 6 months, because I have cut out. I will make it known if I go on a first date with you that I'm interested. Like, hey, had a great time. Would love to do it again. If you don't follow up, I'm not reminding you who I am. I'm not texting you again. I'm not tagging. Like, I'm not gonna like your shit. I'm not gonna do anything. If you, because I know you'll know who I am when right. Just like the box theory.
Yeah.
If you said on that first date, you either didn't see it going somewhere, or you recognize you're actually not ready. I think guys I've dated that I've asked that like I became friends with, they're like, you did show up as everything I like would look for in a girlfriend, and then I realized like, shit, I'm not ready for like. If I keep hanging out with you after 3 dates and I enjoy your company, you're going to ask me to get in a relationship, and I'm just not ready for a relationship. And a lot of people are dating in that scenario. Like
So why are guys not ready?
Great question.
Like
I mean,
what?
that's some guys, right? I wouldn't say, oh, maybe I'm just not for some people, and that's fine too. But I just think, as we've said, like when you know you want to date somebody and you've put a girl in the date box, you're going to make it known. And so there's no hard feelings. Like if somebody comes back a couple months later and was like, hey, I was sorting out my shit, like I will have another date with you, and I don't like hold the grudge.
Yeah.
But I'm just not going to remind you again, because then you're obviously just not in the spot for me right now, or for a date right now, or whatever. But I think a lot of us like, and I did for years, like spin my way like, oh, if I just like his photo or remind him of me, or like I'll shoot him another text and be like, hey, what's up? How's your week? And it still doesn't go anywhere, right? So it's like, if a guy wants to date you, it's going to be easy to see.
But I almost feel like doing that shit now would be more beneficial. You doing that shit early years, it isn't. It's like now, if you do that for a 36-year-old, you might knock his head enough for him to be like, damn, I really need to tap in. But now y'all don't do it.
It's not that I like would never, like if I genuinely, but I'm not going to naturally, if I saw a photo I liked, I'm going to like it, right? Like, or naturally, if something came up that like, I'm not going to look for ways to remind him of me. If I naturally think of you or see you out, or like, hey, I'd love to go on a drink, like I'll say it again. If I run into you somewhere, like, hey, I'd love to go out again.
Yeah.
But then if the action doesn't follow, I'm giving it up. Like, I'm just not going to fight for it. But I'm also very confident. And like, I just feel like, and maybe that's just me, like that somebody will meet me and know right away. Like, and because they'll be ready, right?
Has that ever happened?
Yeah, no, obviously I'm fucking sitting here talking to you.
So why are you so optimistic that will happen?
Because look at I would say like, look at our friendship, right? Like, I do feel like I have a unique way of connecting with people. Like I have a light about myself in the way that I show up. And luckily I have that around me as well. That's inspiring by friendships I have. And so I think no one I've ever dated or talked to would have a bad word, I would think, to say about me, to be honest with you. Like I've never burned a bridge with them. If they're in my city, they always hit me up. They're like, hey, I'd love to get a drink. And it's nothing sexual. It's not like, it's just, we've always vibed. We'll continue to vibe. Like I understand where people are at, and I try to just leave it there.
But what takes it?
Maybe it's because I have such,
that's what I'm saying. What takes it to the where?
Right. I think it's that if everyone wants access to me and they keep asking for it, that eventually somebody will recognize. And I say that, I've said that a lot lately. I've almost been insulted lately because guys will be like, you get so much attention, or you walk in a room and girls, and everyone looks at you. Do you not realize that? And one, I don't realize that. I mean, I guess I think I'm pretty, but I don't feel like I have that impact. They're like, no, when you walk in, people look at you. I'm like, okay, great, but where's the action?